Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that intro! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. This month is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Now in 2012, President Barack Obama proclaimed September as National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month to bring awareness to pediatric cancer, which remains the leading cause of death by disease for children under the age of 14. It's a time to recognize the children and families affected by childhood cancers and to emphasize the importance of supporting research on these devastating conditions. Now, there are over 100 subtypes of childhood cancer. Now, here in America, 43 children are diagnosed with cancer every day, and studies show that 1 in 5 children won't survive. Now, we made some great strides, folks. In 1975, the survival rate of children being diagnosed with cancer was at 61. Today, it's at just over 84%. Now, I personally know some parents of a child that battled cancer and did make it. I personally know some parents of a child that's currently battling cancer, and I know the parents of a child that has beaten cancer. And I personally know some folks that battled cancer when they were young and beaten it. And I personally knew some folks that had cancer and didn't make it. This episode is for those, in memories of those that didn't make it, and in honor of their parents, and it's also in honor of those that have beaten it and are still fighting. Alright, this is a Childhood Cancer Awareness Comic Hero tee. If you want one of your own, you can find them on my website, IamTheComicHero.com, for $17. Alright, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, on last week's episode, I asked true or false. In the comics, Jennifer Walters becomes She-Hulk when she receives an emergency blood transfusion from Bruce Banner after being shot. Well, the correct answer is true. And 12 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, the names have been entered in the drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Aaron LeCompte from Houghton, Louisiana. So congratulations, Aaron. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Wait a minute. I just drew Aaron's name. Okay, so it means... Oh, we got ourselves a Bro Trio hat trick! Yeah! Okay. Let me explain. The reason I said that is because in past episodes... Oh, by the way, Aaron LeCompte, along with his brothers Scotty and Daniel, are known as the Bro Trio, and they have their own channel right here on YouTube. So right after you're done with the show, check it out, and I encourage y'all to hit subscribe. Now, the reason why I was so excited about that was because with me drawing Aaron's name, I've also, you know, in past episodes I've drawn his brothers Scotty and Daniel's name, and so because it's 3 of them, and I call it a hat trick because in hockey, when an individual person scores 3 goals in one game, they call that a hat trick. And I've drawn all 3 of their names on this show, so therefore it's a Bro Trio hat trick. All right, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Wonder Girl question, and it's also a South American question. Which country in South America is the Yara Flor Wonder Girl from? Now here's some hints. The first hint, it's the largest country in South America. The second hint, Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro are two of the most popular cities in this country. Then the third and final hint, supermodels Adriana Lima and Gisele Bundchen, novelist Paulo Coelho, singer-songwriter Roberto Carlos, I'm sorry about that, and soccer players Pele, Ronaldinho, and Neymar are all from this country. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tea on next week's episode of the show. Alright, now D'Angelo Ballou from Warren, Ohio has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features an omnipotent character in the DC Universe going up against an omnipotent character in the Marvel Universe. Representing DC, we have the Presence. And representing Marvel, we have One Above All. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's the Presence versus One Above All. The Presence possesses omnipotence, omnipresence, omniscience, and immortality. One Above All possesses omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience. Who will win? You'd think the Presence will win this hands down because he's immortal, but not so fast. One Above All would just look at the Presence and the latter would be stripped of all his powers. By the way, One Above All is the synthesis of both the late Stan Lee and the late Jack Kirby. The Presence may have possessed immortality, but even he's not above the synthesis of two gods. One Above All wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Thank you, D'Angelo Ballou, for that fight request. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll have another one for next week. Now, if you want to make a request of your own, here are the rules. The first rule is that it has to, at least one comic book or manga character has to be involved in a fight. And then they can go up against another comic book or manga character, a video game character, or even a serious-minded cartoon character like Optimus Prime, Snake Eyes, Voltron, anyone like that. And also make sure that your fight makes sense. Don't make it a lopsided fight, because where's the fun in that? Alright, now it's time for Comically Speaking. So without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, there are two things we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking, and here's the first. Now, allegedly, Warner Brothers execs think that the Zack Snyder's Justice League should have never happened. Oh boy. That's a very, very, very disrespectful thing to say. And, it seems like ever since Warner Brothers merged with Discovery, or they ended up buying Discovery, it's been boneheaded decision after boneheaded decision. And then it's also been a scenario of open mouth, insert foot. Now, you have to remember, when Zack Snyder's Justice League, first off, you don't know the work that Zack Snyder, the cast, and the rest of the crew of this movie did. They put in a lot of weeks, a lot of months, and a lot of time, and they did so during a very difficult time, for the whole world, with the pandemic. They really put in a lot of hard time in this movie, and let me tell you, this movie is still, in my opinion, a lot better than the theatrical release, which was a complete dumpster fire. No disrespect to Joss Whedon, but that's exactly what it was. It was a dumpster fire. And not only that, Zack Snyder's Justice League was filmed in loving memory of Zack Snyder's daughter, who died while production first started. And it just seems like ever since DC bought Warner Bros., they just grown way too big for their britches. It all really got started when they completely scrapped the Batgirl movie. Just like Zack Snyder's Justice League, you don't know the hard work that the cast and crew put in order to make that to make that movie a reality, and now you want to get rid of it because it's not what you want. It just seems like with DC, Warner Brothers is not doing well by them at all, and a lot of movies have been scrapped. And the next movie that's going to come out is Black Adam, and I'm really looking forward to that. And then there's also been word that Shazam: Fury of the Gods has been pushed back. Be smart, Warner Brothers. Just because you own DC doesn't mean you get to treat it in any kind of way. Like you're a it's almost like someone buying a pet and not taking care of it. This is exactly what it is, and it needs to stop. If it's something within your division, you need to do good by them. This is inexcusable, and there's just no room. Just no room for this kind of behavior. Do better, Warner Brothers and Discovery. That's all I'm saying. All right, now the second thing is that, and on a much lighter note, by the way, there's a new Star Trek comic book coming to IDW that fills the gap between the end of Star Trek Voyager and then Star Trek Nemesis. Now, Star Trek Voyager was a TV show that was in syndication from 1995 to 2001, and it featured the crew of the USS Voyager that ended up being lost in space. And it took years for them to come back. And then Star Trek Nemesis, okay, here's the thing. A lot of things have obviously happened between that time. For starters, Captain Janeway becomes an admiral because she's on a conference call with Captain Picard in Star Trek Nemesis, and Picard refers to her as Admiral Janeway. So that lets me know that she ended up getting promoted after she and the Voyager crew were being lost in space, and then somehow miraculously coming back. And then it also stars Dr. Crusher from the Next Generation. It stars who I just mentioned at Captain/Admiral Janeway, and then also, and I'm still trying to figure out how this is possible. It also stars Captain Benjamin Sisko from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Really looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to buy this book and collect it when it comes out. I mean, I'm a second generation Trekkie, and I love just about anything and everything Star Trek, so let's go! Alright, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up, and I'm really excited about this book. Avengers 1 Million BC. All Out Avengers number 1. Batman number 127. Black Panther number 9. Captain America Sentinel of Liberty number 4. The book formerly known as Dark Crisis, now it's called Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths number 4. Fantastic Four number 46. Flashpoint Beyond number 5. Immortal X-Men number 6. Knights of X number 5. Marauders number 6. Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 41. The new champion of Shazam number 2. Shazam. New Mutants number 29. Nubia, Queen of the Amazons number 4. She-Hulk number 6. Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse number 5. Really excited about this one. Superman, War World Apocalypse. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 132. Thunderbolts number 1. Wolverine number 24. X-Force number 31. And finally, X-Men number 14. Alright, that's 23, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 11,566. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. Which country in South America is the Yara Flor Wonder Girl from? Now, here's the hints. The first hint, it's the largest country in all of South America. The second hint, Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro are two of the most popular cities in this country. Then the third and final hint, supermodels Adriana Lima and Giselle Bundchen, novelist Paulo Coelho, singer-songwriter Roberto Carlos, and soccer players Pele, Ronaldinho, and Neymar are all from this country. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Aaron LeCompte from Haughton, Louisiana, who won a free tee on this week's episode. All right, here's the road ahead for the show. On next week's episode, I'm going to raise awareness of PCOS. Now, PCOS stands for Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. Now, this is a disorder that only happens among women. But I personally know some women that are living with it, and let me tell you, life is very difficult, and I just want to show some love to them, as well as any other woman that may be living throughout the world who has PCOS. And then on episode 417, I'm going to raise awareness of prostate cancer, and I'm also going to have a very special guest on this episode. I'm not telling y'all who it is. Y'all just have to tune in and find out. And then on episode 418, I'm going to raise awareness of the NICU. Now, the NICU is short for the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. Now, that's where a lot of babies that have been born premature or born with some kind of illness spend the first few days, weeks, or even months of life. And I want to show some love to all the children that were born in the NICU, all the parents that had children that were born in the NICU, and then all the doctors and nurses that work tirelessly and have worked tirelessly to make sure these babies are nursed back to health. And then on episode 419, the 9th anniversary episode of the Comic Hero Show. Wow, to say that I've been doing this for 9 years, that doesn't even seem real. It seems just like yesterday I was living in West Monroe, and I did the very first episode on Windows Live Movie Maker, and to see how far I've come over the years. What a blessing. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, or if you're watching this on the Facebook page that I'm a member of called Comic Book Lovers, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go ahead and hit subscribe. Y'all will not, y'all won't be disappointed. And to all the children that are currently battling childhood cancer, keep on fighting. And then to all the parents all the parents of these children that are fighting cancers, I know that y'all are with them every step of the way, and continue to be with them every step of the way. And then in honor of all the parents whose children didn't make it, my heart is with y'all. I love y'all, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. And y'all probably wondering, why am I wearing this Spider-Man hat? Well, one of my co-workers at a previous job had a son who was battling a form of childhood cancer, and a few months ago he didn't make it. And I learned that one of his favorite superheroes was Spider-Man. So that's why I'm wearing a Spider-Man hat in memory of him, and also in honor of his parents. And I know that they're watching right now, and I just want to let y'all know that I love y'all, and if there's anything I can ever do for y'all, please let me know. You see, that's the thing, folks. The only way we're going to get through this crazy life is with love and with helping each other. And that, I don't know about y'all, but that's something I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and I'm not going to have any regrets doing so. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 416. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.